Some friends told me like, hey, how are you supposed to run a company with no English? How are you gonna make that happen? Even some, my
family.
Family, and I just
put them on blast, bro.
Yeah.
Who is it? Okay, so what's going on, everybody? So on today's show, we got none other than Saul Barajas. You're an AZ up-and-comer, the owner of Gold Air, Arizona Gold Air, right? Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate, this time. I want to start off with, saying thank you. I want to say thank you for this space. Hopefully, I can help another business owners, but I want to say thank you, Chris. Because you're busy, man. You're really successful guy.
Well, I'm trying. I don't know about really successful. I'm doing okay, and that's what it's about. That's what the whole podcast and you and I being on it and the other guests is to help other young entrepreneurs or inspiring entrepreneurs to say, look what they're doing. Listen to their life, right? Because we always see the flashy stuff. We see the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris and the Porsches but we don't see like the crying, the hurting, the fights. We don't see all that. And so when we get to have conversations in this podcast setting is now you get to hear it from people that are going through it rather than just seeing the fluff on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is,
exactly.
Right? So Saul, born in Phoenix, right? But raised in Guadalajara.
Guadalajara, yeah.
How were you born in Phoenix and then raised in Guadalajara?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Everybody, it's surprised about that. But basically, yeah, I born here in Phoenix, Arizona. But my parents took me to Mexico basically like my whole life. I was 1 year old. They took me to Mexico, and then basically I went to the school over there. Pretty much, I did my life in Mexico until I was 18 years old. I went back to the U.S. My mom was crying like crazy because 18 years old, I mean, you are a baby. Mm-hmm. You think you're big, but you're just a baby. So I was 18 years old. I moved to the U.S. Thanks God, I'm legal. I born in in Phoenix, Arizona. So for me, it was pretty easy to get a job. Go to the school, but I was without parents, no mom, no dad. $40 in my pocket.
So you came here back here. How'd you take a bus? Did you take a bus over here?
Well, so yeah, I was living for like a couple of months with my uncle. I was living for a couple of months with my uncle. So my uncle was taking me to the school.
And like when you came from med school here, did you just jump on the bus or something?
Oh, no. Actually, they drove me to the border. And then I crossed the border. And then somebody picked me up at the border. And then they drove me here. Yeah.
You just walked through the border because you have your documentation.
Exactly. So for me, it was easy.
Hey, they walked through the border today. What? No, doc. It's the same thing today. I'm just kidding. So growing up in Guadalajara, Mexico, I always say Mets, like MET, but it's Mex. I say it wrong. I don't know. But like growing up there, how was that? A young kid. People hear all these stories about Mexico. Some people go, but they only go to certain parts of, they go to like the beach towns and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But you're growing up in there, what was different about it? What was good? What was bad?
Well, so it's not that fun when you're poor, man.
You're poor, yeah.
You don't have the money to hang out, or you don't have the money to go and have nice vacations. So, thanks God, my dad and my mom, they were working so hard. So they've been always providing for us. So they were providing for us, but just basic.
Yeah.
The food, clothes, just basic stuff. But you know, it's so much different out there in Mexico. But the good thing about that is that, you know, I learned so much about life because, you know, you can work so hard in Mexico and not getting what you really want in life.
I think that's everywhere across the world. Not everywhere, but most places across the world. That's why we have freedoms in America.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
So you work your butt off. You see your family members working their butt offs, and it's like for pennies, for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
For very little.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you know, I always wanted it to do more in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I was like always dreaming about a nice house, nice cars, you know, just living, you know, nice, having whatever you want, going to vacations. And then, yeah, I always wanted it more. So that's why I told my mom when I was 17 and a half, hey, Mom, I think I'm just going to go to
America.
Go to
USA.
America.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because, you know, I wanna grind. At that point, I wanted it to go to the school, learn English. As you can tell, you know, broke English.
Yeah.
But you know, I wanted it to learn, you know, English, go to the school, you know, have a nice career and pay my things and just live, you know, nice and comfortable. But obviously things, you know, changed because when I moved to the USA, to America, guess what? I gotta pay my insurance.
Real life sets in.
Exactly. My rent, I gotta pay everything. So I'm like, damn, I can't go to the school because how I supposed to pay, you know, $2,000 a month? Because for me at that moment, it was so much money, you know, like my car, because I bought my first car, I paid $1,000. So it was pretty hard for me to pay my insurance, you know, my cell phone, my food, pretty much everything. So that's why, you know, I started working in the HVAC industry when I was 18 years old.
Yeah, that's a good, like, when you were you know, growing up, was there someone that you seen that was like you had this you had something inside of you? Were you different than the rest of your family, or was there someone in your life like an uncle or your dad or someone that worked really hard and they had a little business? Or because you like we get. You said you wanted more and you wanted a nice house, but you had to see it. Did you see that on TV? Did you see someone with it? Or you just kind of like, I knew I want this, you know, like one time on a TV show or something? Like, where'd that come from? Because some people don't have that in them where they want more or they want to work harder. It came from something.
Well, so my dad, he's, you know, my dad is a pretty smart guy. Because he was here for like a couple of years. So he was saving up so much money. He went to Mexico. He started building apartments.
Okay.
You know, so he started investing in real estate. And he was telling me...
Bro, it sounds like you're a rich kid. I'm just kidding.
No. I was just, you know... I'm
just joking.
And then he was building like little, you know, apartments.
Yeah.
He was working so hard. And then... He used to, you know, he always told me about, you know, building something.
Yeah.
About like being my own boss, about making my own decisions, about, you know, taking the risk. And that's what I remember from my dad. You know, he was always telling me, hey, you gotta be the boss.
Yeah.
You better build something. Because if you work for someone, you're gonna be broke.
Not all the time, but
not all the time, but
yeah, if you're basic job, you will.
Yeah,
be.
basic job. Yeah. I mean, you know, just, you know, simple life.
Yeah. You have to know what it is you want. If you want a simple life, then that's what you
exactly. Yeah. That's totally fine because, you know, if you are happy, if you are happy in your life about just having a 9-to-5 job and just enjoy the rest of the time with your family, your friends, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like in my case, I like to have problems. I like to solve.
You say you like to have problems?
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
you know,
I love it.
I feel alive. You know,
Yeah.
when I'm always doing something. So
You're being challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
No, I think we need to be challenged. So was your mom, was she like the stay-at-home mom and she stayed home, or did she work as well?
no, she was always working
So you've seen both parents work and grinding.
all the time.
They're in survival mode.
Exactly.
What and
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking about it. Obviously, that was just surviving.
Yeah.
That was not. You know, when you are a kid, you don't understand. But now that I'm here, that I'm, you know, that I'm an adult, I understand that basically you are just surviving in Mexico.
You know what? Honestly, that's anywhere. You know, because like we could be here, and you know, there's inflation, stuff costs expensive, and if you don't make enough, you can go to work, and both husband and wife go to work, and they're still just surviving check to check.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then you have one issue, one problem. You know, you had a job.
100%.
You're broke, check to check. A little problem happens, you got to borrow money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was there. You know.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, and then I mean, you can literally change your life when you do the right things.
Yeah.
And when you are around the right people, and when you are around smarter people than you, you can literally change your life so quick. Because when I moved to the America, I was always hanging out with, you know, with older people.
Yeah.
People that I was already buying houses, people that they have nice jobs. I was always hanging out with smarter people than me.
That's good.
Yeah, so
That's key.
yeah, 100%. I really believe in you know, hanging with people that is smarter than you, and you know, that's huge. Like until now, you know, like right now, I remember my cousin. He was so smart with the making the right decisions about, you know, money. I remember he used to, you know, he used to tell me like, "Hey, Saul, please do not invest in cars right now." I was 19 years old. Do not invest in cars right now, because probably you're not working in your, you know, your dream job. You gotta find what you really like. And then you gotta, you know, make more money, because right now, basically, you're just starting off. I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
But I bought my first home when I was 20 years old.
That's good.
Because I was, you know, just living the simple life. And I bought my first place when I was 20 years old. So a Mexican guy with broke English, you know, buying a property at 20 years old with my wife, not bad. I mean,
it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about, there's 50, 60, 70-year-old people that never bought a first home. Mm-hmm. They never made it to the first home. They're in apartments, you know, or they're on government aid, government assistance. You know, so for you to come from Mexico and, you know, start to grind, you know, you're going to school. So you were going to high school, I believe. Was
Yes,
that
high school.
Did you finish it or no?
No.
So you started going, you're like, I'm done. I got to go to work.
Exactly. I was in, you know, oh man, I was struggling so much. I was in surviving mode.
Yeah.
I was, you know, working in 2 different restaurants to be able to kind of like make it.
Yeah.
But after that, I you know, I started working in the HVAC industry. I was working 7 days a week. 7 days a week. I was working so hard, like 12 hours a day, because, you know, I wanted it more.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
like,
and your English was broken. So even though you were legal, you were being treated as illegal.
yeah,
Right. So you could only get certain jobs because you couldn't speak English at the time.
exactly.
So you're getting jobs where everyone's speaking Spanish, and like you said, you're in a restaurant. Were you cooking, cleaning? What were you doing?
I was bussing tables.
Yeah, busing.
And then after that, cooking.
Cooking.
But you came out with a nice point, Chris, because that happened to me even 2 years ago. When I started in my company,
Yeah.
you know, some friends told me like, "Hey, how are you supposed to run a company with no English?
Yeah.
How you're gonna make it? How you gonna make that happen?" Even some, you know, my, you know,
Family?
family, and you know, I just
Just put him on blast, bro.
Yeah.
Who is it?
You know, my old boss, you know, like,
Oh, yeah.
hey, you know, like,
He don't know nothing.
You know, so
Who's
I was,
that guy? He don't know nothing.
so I was like, yeah, well, guess what? You know, when you really wanna, you know, when you really wanted it, you really want to change your life and
Yeah.
you want to work on big stuff, it'll happen.
Yeah, you're gonna, like, if you want something, like there'll be limitations, but you can overcome the limitations. You just got to work a little harder. You know,
Exactly.
When I started the company, when I went to, and I've told this story, when I went to get my license at the registered contractors, they told me no because I had a felony. I got a felony,
Okay. Yeah.
So I got in trouble when I was younger, and they're like, no, you can't get a license.
Yeah.
You have a felony. And I'm like, holy geez.
Wow.
So it's the same thing. Like, they're like, you can't do this.
Exactly.
People were saying, you can't do this. You can't do that, and it was like, I'll just work a little harder.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going to work a little harder.
Yeah.
That's all. If I had, like, some people are a little bit more gifted and talented than others. And sometimes if they are, you're going against them, you just got to work a little harder. You got to train a little longer. You got, some people work out in the gym and they get muscles really fast. They get swole, right? And some, it takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
So if it takes you longer, you just work a little harder.
Exactly.
And so for you, I mean, I don't feel like it's holding you back, but it's a mindset.
Yeah.
It's a mindset.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Chris, I was working so hard. I was pretty much driving out there every single day looking for opportunities because, I'm everything it's fine. We're licensure bonded.
Yeah.
So I was basically looking for opportunities every single day out there. I'm knocking doors, calling people. Hey, this is what I do. I really want to grow my company. This is what I can do for you. You don't have to pay me right now to sign off the contract until, I make this happen for you and then you can pay me, just trying to open up, doors out there. And, I built this company from $0 to $1 million in less than 2 years.
That's good.
Because for me, this is huge because, I feel like, the only person that is going to believe in you is yourself. And then you got to prove
to everybody,
then they're going to start believing in you.
Even your own spouse.
Oh, yeah.
Even your own kids, even your own parents, everybody, because you're getting challenged. It's hard when change for some is next to impossible, right? And for them to believe it for someone else is, you might as well just say it's impossible. They have to see it, right? And that's why I like the faith. Like the faith in me, it's faith is like seeing it without seeing it.
Exactly.
And so you had the vision, you seen it, and you're like, I'm going after this. I don't care if my English is broken. I don't care if I can't talk to people. I'll use Google Translate.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. We got all kinds of tools, right? But that now you got to prove to everybody why you belong here.
Well, you came out with a really nice point, Chris, because when I started this company, I was fighting so much with my wife.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not providing.
Yeah.
Money.
We're broke. You're broke.
Exactly.
Go get a job, babe. Just go get a job.
Yeah, I mean, she was supporting me, but obviously you gotta prove that you can run a company, that you can make money.
Yeah.
And I was fighting with my wife because, now I'm not providing money to the house, to the home.
Yeah.
But I was grinding so hard out there. Now that we're working on bigger stuff, that now we have a team and things like that. Well, now people believe in you, but you gotta prove them.
Yeah. And the key is, so it was like the people that didn't believe in you, you can't be mad at them.
No, 100%.
You just gotta be like, you throw it in their face, like, remember you didn't believe in me?
I told you.
I still love you.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for money.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for money.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens too. A lot of people, once you start making money, everyone starts wanting to borrow some money. Hey, can I borrow 100? Can I borrow 200? Can I borrow 500? Hey, I didn't make my rent. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a new car. I need a down payment. Well, shit, why are you buying a new car if you don't have the down payment?
Yeah.
They want to borrow. Like, all these things have happened to me. Like, everyone comes up to me and wants to borrow down money. And I'm like, I'm not rich, bro. Just got a little bit of money.
Yeah.
No, it's good because that's why I wanted to bring you on is I know like the grind. And I remember when we started the company, it was the same thing. Like nobody believed in me, like nobody. And, I had to prove everybody, the family, I had to stop talking to certain people that didn't want to support me, because I quit doing drugs, I quit drinking, I quit all these things. And then I started the company and, I lost the set of people quitting drugs. Like they didn't want to be around me no more because I stopped. Then I stopped drinking, a lot of alcohol, and then they didn't want to, oh, if you're too good and well, whatever. Then when I started the business, it was another set of things like that, and the same thing with yourself. And so all I had to do is, because it's demoralizing when you got a dream and people don't want to support you. Right. And that's why we hear all the time on, from big influencers or big speakers on social media is like, be around people that will support your dream. Right. It's key. But the real thing is when you're starting, there ain't no damn support. So you're all alone in the middle of the ocean. And then you're like, one person comes and like, I'll go on the boat with you. Then another person. Next thing you know, it's like everybody wants to be on the party boat. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly, 100%. Now that, when you prove what you're doing and now the people start, believing in you and, now they want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, bro, I don't hang out, like on Friday, like you, like drinking.
Yeah.
I'm just doing different stuff. And then you start connecting with another business, a lot with another business owners because they have, you have the same vision. And then, yeah, man, it's just crazy how life works.
Yeah.
Because I never imagined, making these type of decisions right now that now we have a marketing agency. We pay thousands of dollars every month to make our phone ring, and that we're working on bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger stuff. I remember when I started, I was doing a $200 job.
Yeah,
I was so happy. I was driving back to my home, so happy in my work van.
Yeah.
So happy because I was, damn, I'm making $200 in like 2-3 hours. Before I was in the attic the whole day.
Yeah,
I was so happy. That feeling was amazing. Now I'm working on $150,000 project. And I'm
so
like,
amazing.
oh, that's no okay.
$200 is nothing now.
Yeah, $200 is nothing. But but it's it feels so nice that I never imagined myself working on this bigger stuff. And it feels great. It feels.
Yeah. And you're only 28 years old, right?
20 years.
28.
Old.
Yeah, 28. How many kids do you have? 3?
3 kids.
3. So 28, 3 kids. You started when you're 26. So for everyone listening, it's like you're never too young or you're never too old. Like when you're ready, you're ready. You know what I mean? And sometimes if you're not ready, you just got to go.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you started the company, you weren't ready. It wasn't perfect.
Yeah, no.
You're just like, I'm going to start it, right? You went after the license, the LLC.
Yeah.
Then you're like, I got to do this, this, and this. And
yeah. I mean, when I started, basically, I was kind of like planning the scape because I started building rentals. I built a casino in the back of my house. So now that was paying my mortgage.
Oh, that's good.
And then I built the second one. So that was covering my bills, and a little bit of food.
That was the second one was on the property as well?
Yeah.
So you have 2 rental, like a little.
Well, now we have 3 plus the main house.
Oh, that's good.
So it's like a 4-plex.
Oh, you had a like a large lot or something.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's just average.
Yeah.
I would say it's average, but when I did that, basically I was always thinking in the future, like, okay, this is going to take care of me.
Yeah.
Until I hustle out there. But until now, I mean, that extra money feels great every month.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like planning the escape. And then, obviously there's always, thoughts in your, in your head about like, oh man, I don't know how to quote. I don't know how I don't know how to sell. I don't know how. I'm not the best technician. What if I go out there and I do a wrong, diagnosed to the system? So I was like kind of like concerned about those type of things, but I think it's normal. But I was working so hard my first year because I'm like, no, I gotta pull myself out of the business, out of the bill. The field.
Yeah.
And then I want to start working on the business and not in the business.
Yeah.
So when I did that, obviously I started making a lot less money. But now I'm building a company.
Yeah. Yeah. Because now you can start to build systems. You start to see when you're in something and stuck in the middle of it and you're like, it's all right on your face. You can't really see what else is happening. You have to actually take a step back.
Yeah.
And say, okay, how do I manage, the operations of this whole thing?
Yeah.
Because then you can actually see what's happening, in different areas, your payroll, your operations, whatever, material orders, however that process is. Because when you're stuck in there, you're just stuck and you're so close and you're so like things get past you. You know what I mean? So you have to stand back and that was the same thing with me. Is the biggest, one of the biggest moves I made in the company in Extreme. Is I took myself out of the field, early on, and I had a meeting with a gentleman, and he's like, Chris, you know what, you need to you can either be a drywall installer, or you can be in the business of selling drywall projects. And I was like, well, I want to sell projects, I want to grow, the same thing like yourself, and so I tell people like, get out of the field as fast as you can. Unless you want to be like a small mom and pop, but if you want to grow, you have to get out of the field as fast as you can. And you have to challenge yourself. You're going to do things you never did before. Types of projects you never did. Like, because, you work for someone, you do bare basic things. When you start working for yourself, now you got to think like, well, how do I get this done? I never use this product or this type or this big or this small, whatever, or this, for you, like, and what's the next challenge? You know what I mean?
100%. And how long you was working in the in the field? In the field.
Yeah, so I started in the industry in 1998.
Okay.
So I went I got kicked out of school my freshman year. Out of high school. So I graduated 8th grade, and 1 month or 2 months into high school, whatever, got kicked out. Okay. And then about a year and a half later, I got ordered to go to a trade school called Phoenix Job Corps. It's a federal school, a government school. And so I like to build, so I took carpentry.
Okay.
Then so the judge said, hey, you gotta complete this, go there for a year. So I did that.
Okay.
And then about 17 and a half, I got into the trade. It was actually 17 and 9 months. Okay. So 1998, and then I started the company 09, the beginning of 09.
Okay.
No, is that right? Yeah.
09.
09. Wait, was that when the market crashed? Market crashed 08?
08.
Yeah. So there was no work.
Okay.
So 09. So I was about 10 and a half years, somewhere in there.
Okay.
In the field. And then we started the company.
Okay.
And you can talk on this. Is when I started the company, I thought I knew everything. I thought I was the best. I thought I would look at my boss and be like, you suck. And everybody does that. They look at me and think I suck, right? My guys, some people, whatever. I don't suck. I'm really good. No. But that's what I thought. I was like, I'm going to crush this dude. I'm going to do all this. And then I start and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know jack.
Sad.
You know what I mean? Was that the same thing that happened to you?
Yeah, same thing.
So what was that feeling when you started and you're like, oh shoot?
Not having something really simple like the price book.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I don't remember how much this guy is charging for this type of projects. Like, damn, this is so simple, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Or for example, like scheduling all the projects, getting the material. I'm like, this is so simple, getting the material, dropping off the material, things like that. But, oh man, I gotta be really efficient So I don't know how to do it, you know? Simple stuff like that it's gonna, you know, that I was like so confused. And then I was calling my previous boss, you know, really good person. He's a good guy. But, you know, I was calling him, hey, you know, I have this question here and there, and then just calling in other friends. But yeah, yeah.
Did you
100%.
so when you were starting, did you have that feeling of, man, this is really hard, I want to quit?
No, never.
Okay.
Oh no. Since day one, I was like, oh, I'll make this happen.
Yeah.
I'll make sure, you know, I don't want a no as an answer. I'll make sure it's a yes. And then just, I was hustling so hard out there. So hard. Until now, we have bigger projections, you know, $3 million this year. We're looking for an in-house marketing person, just like you know, obviously you're a lot bigger than me and things, but you know, that's our goal.
Yeah.
We're gonna do well like you know, we wanna build a nice company. So, but yeah, I mean, and then, you know, obviously I'll take a lot of risk, because at the end of the day, I gotta pay the guys. I gotta pay the marketing agency. I gotta pay, you know, all the overhead, the trucks, the commercial car insurance, you know, the truck insurance. I mean, you gotta pay a lot of money, like tons of money. And something that I don't like about, you know, about people out there, that they think that the Mexicans, you know, they don't know how to run. They don't know how to do the right thing. Like, they think that as a Mexicans, we're not licensed, we're not insured, you know, we're not legit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want to build something legit. I want to build something big. And then I'll make sure, you know, this is 2024.
Yeah.
Hopefully in less than 10 years, you're going to see, hopefully you can see our signs up there on the freeways everywhere.
We can do that tomorrow.
Yeah, we can do that tomorrow.
We can get some spray paint and do it today.
But it takes a lot of money, man. I'm already, so, you know, and then it's, you know, now that I understand a lot more business, I understand that there is stages.
There's levels.
Yeah, levels, exactly.
Yeah.
So even if I put my name out there right now, nobody's going to call me.
No.
Because I gotta, you know, there's steps where.
Yeah, because you got to be prepared for it. Yeah, because you're going to get, you get 20 calls a week. You're going to get 300 calls a week.
Exactly.
Or whatever, right?
Exactly.
And that's good that you talk about the levels, because, you know, at each level you go to, or the next person, it's a new challenge. You get, so like, remember we talked about, like, when you and I started, there was no one believed in us, right? You said it, but with your company, I said it with mine, right? Well, at each level, that comes back, right? Okay. But it's not the people that are already with you, because they're with you. Once they start to get with you, you know, whether you want them there or not, they're there. And then, but when you get to the next level, you have to prove yourself again to a new set of people, right? Yeah. Because they're like, hey, you know, I'm going through it, right? And, you know, big, massive companies that are like, whatever, dude, I don't know you. I don't care what you did, you know? And I have to be like, you know, like, what do you mean you don't know me? I'm the best. Yeah. They're like, yeah, whatever, dude. But so that's what you're going to go through that again. Every level you go through this challenge of the unbelief, of the mistrust, right? And so you have to earn the trust again at that level, the new customer. So, you know, when you conquer, like, you know, like you said, is you're getting bigger jobs, and, you know, so now that's a new level of trust you have to prove. And then once you start knocking those out, and you're like, hey, what do you mean you don't trust me? Well, I don't know who you are, Saul. And you're like, well, check it out. This is what I did. You know? Yeah. You know, and so it's the same thing. And then you start to say, you know, this is what I'm capable of doing. So you're building your portfolio. But again, at each level, it's a new challenge. You know, it's a new thing you have to grab onto, right? And that's where people stop, though. Like the beginning when there's no trust, they get knocked out. Boom. But then you go to, then some people stick in, and then the next level, then they get knocked out because they can't handle the mistrust. Like it's hard to gain people's trust all the time, you know, because we have to, as a business owner, an employer, you have to give your trust really fast, because you have to trust that the people that are on your team are going to do you right without even knowing them. You just hired them 10 minutes ago, and you're like, hey, drive my truck. Here's my tools. Go fix this for someone else. Yeah. You have to give them the trust, right? And so as an employer, we have to give out a lot of trust. And so it sucks when people don't trust us. Yeah. Right?
100%.
You know.
And then, so last year I was growing, I mean, pretty fast, or at least for me, that was pretty fast. Because I was running like 30 calls a week for a guy that has been in business only 2 years. I think it's a lot. Plus all the projects, like always doing the installations, you know, things like that. So everything was so quick. And I was like, okay, this is out of control. I don't have the systems in place. I'm burning so much money because I was sponsoring events. I was, you know, just burning so much money. And I'm like, oh man, there's no return on investment. You know, I'm just burning money, and I gotta be smarter with the money. So on November, I decided to get a business coach.
That's good.
And then I was like, hey, bro, you know, help me out, because this is out of control. You know, I don't know how to manage the people. I don't know how to do a lot of things. Then, you know, the first time, you know, he was like, okay, Saul, so you're already making almost $1 million. You're doing something good. We don't know. I don't know, you know, what you're doing, but you're doing something good. Mm-hmm. So let's just work on you and then the company. So the first thing he told me is like, hey, you know, you look like Shay. You know, you got to be in shape. You got to work on yourself, your family, and then your business. So I fixed myself. I fixed my family. I was not a good, husband. And then I started taking care of my wife, you know, really asking her like, hey, baby, what do you want in this life? You know, like, you know, do you have goals? How can I help you to reach, you know, your goals? Just taking care of her a lot more.
Yeah.
My kids, myself. And then I was, I started focusing on the business. So first I fixed myself, my family, then the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, obviously you're going to invest a lot of money, but at the end of the day, that's gonna take you a lot farther than just trying to figure out by yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, until now we keep doing the same thing, but now, you know, we have projections. Really excited about, you know, everything. And then my wife, she's happy with me. She's really happy with me now. She really liked this version now. My kids. So yeah.
So I like that you said that. Like, do you feel that you're a confident guy? Confident?
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Yeah, I think so. Right. And so you have to have, in order to have confidence in your own abilities, you have to believe in yourself and work on yourself. There's many things, right? Yeah. I have faith. That's part of my confidence. But if you're not working on yourself, there's no way. If you can't, if you're not in tip top shape or mentally, physically, whatever that is, you can't help someone else, right? And you can't grow a business. And I think that's a big problem with a lot of people today, not only in business, but with normal jobs or whatever, is they don't work on themselves. They're not learning, they're not growing, they stop. And it's like, you're just there, you're stuck, And so, the fact that you said that that's crucial. If you want to take your business to each level it's going to go to, is you got to keep working on yourself and be prepared for that level. Because I believe God will only give us what we can handle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you can't handle it, like, think about it. Like, if you have a 1-car garage and you're trying to park 4 cars in there, You just can't handle it. Like you have no room for the other 3 cars. So what do? You can't take them. You know what I mean? So you have to be prepared mentally, physically. I'm working on my physical body. I'm working on my mental body, you know, my spiritual, all these things I'm trying to become better at, like yourself. And I think it's missed by a lot of people, especially and you don't see it on social media because everybody's flashing stuff. So, and it's kind of like, well, okay, I've seen the same 3 poses. You know, what are you working on, bro? You know, what are you listening to that's going in your mind? Exactly. What are you doing? Are you going to church? Are you, what do you, I mean, what's, you know, what are you putting in you? Go ahead.
And that's why a lot of guys out there, they're always like chasing, you know, women out there and things like that, because, I mean, they have their, you know, their wife, but they're not investing in her wife. They're not, you know, they're not pushing her to be a better person. Yeah. You know, because my wife literally told me, hey, you know, I really want to go to the gym, but, you know, you told me that you was busy. So I'm like, baby, I was wrong. I have time for that. Yeah. Let's go to the gym together. So we started going to the gym. So she was like, you know, you know, just, you know, simple stuff about like dating every week. We try to date every week, you know, just you know, just her and me. And then we try to, you know, just talk about, you know, just regular stuff like when we started dating. So for sure, I've been investing a lot more in my wife. Like literally on January, I took my wife to Cancun.
Oh, that's nice.
And, you know, I went to some nice stores. I'm like, okay, I want to get you a nice ring. I want to get you some nice, you know, sunglasses, things like that. Let's go to Cancun. I'm investing in my wife because I've been so busy working on the company, working on, you know, things like that. So, but now I want to do this for you. You know, you're my wife. I love you. You're being with me since you were broke. Exactly. When I was so broke, driving a 98 Ford Escort, falling apart, making so much noise. You was with me. Now you deserve everything. Yeah. And, you know, I want to take care of you forever. So, so yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. So, you know, you being of Mexican descent, do you feel like, and you mentioned it a couple times, you know, like there's a stigma about Mexicans, you know, that they can't start businesses because they don't know English or this or that, or they're underpaid. Yeah. Do you feel like that's a disadvantage? You know, do you feel, okay, I'll tell you something. What I hear, you know, you hear like some Mexicans will work hard, right? Then you got some that are here illegally. Then you got some that won't pay taxes. You have all this types of people, and this is with everybody. Yeah, it doesn't matter what culture, right? But you're Mexicans, so we'll just talk about Mexicans. Like, do you feel like that Mexicans discount themselves, or that other people discount the Mexicans?
I think both.
Okay.
I think both, because, you know, oh man, we have such a different culture. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm so glad to be here, because I'm Mexican, and I'm able to show some, you know, some persons out there that if I can, they can. Yeah. But yeah, man, but you know, it's more difficult for, I will say it is a little bit more difficult for us. But like in my case, I'll make sure I outwork. How to say?
Yeah, outwork.
Outwork everyone.
Work harder.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta work harder.
So what makes it more difficult though? The language, or just being Mexican? I don't understand. What do you mean?
To be honest, like I'm not concerned about the English. Like
So okay.
yeah. Like for example, you know, we have some goals that we gotta hit.
Yeah.
But I know my language is not gonna affect that.
Yeah.
Right. So, so it's about probably being Mexican and, you know, have that strong or that broke English.
Yeah.
That they're always judging you.
Yeah.
About, you know, about everything.
I think everybody judges everybody though.
Yeah. I mean,
People judge me all the time. Yeah. So do you think that Mexicans or anybody not from that doesn't know English should learn English?
of course.
Because and I'll tell you why, because we have Mexicans in the company, right? And I'll tell them, like, you'll need to learn English. You'll make more money. Not necessarily with me, but in life. Like, you'll do more things.
Exactly.
You can, and I tell them, like, learn English. You could talk to your friends' parents at school. You could talk to the friend, to your, not your friend's parents, your kid's parent, or your kid's friend's parents. Or you could talk to your kid's teachers. There's so much you can do when you know English. And some do it, and some are like, I don't need it.
You need English.
You need English.
Yeah, of course. Like this is America.
This is America.
You have to learn English.
Do you love America?
I mean, this is my country.
Why do you love it?
Because this is the land of opportunities, man.
Opportunities.
Like if you work hard out there, you're gonna make it.
America's the only place. I mean, there's a couple of places like England and all that stuff, but America's the place.
Yeah. This is my country. Like I have a big American flag on the back of my truck.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
That's funny because I was telling you, like, I'm getting ready to change my back window, and I have that American sticker that says extreme. I'm like, I'm gonna put that on. Then I see yours. I'm like, I got to do it now.
Yeah.
You know. I'm half Mexican. You know, I was born and raised here in Phoenix, so I don't have that Mexican descent like say yourself or whatever. People look at me and think I do. I don't. I would be, even if I was full Mexican, I would be like 1, 2, 3. I would be 4th generation American.
Wow.
Yeah, like you know.
Well,
like,
you're not Mexican anymore. Well, at that point, you're not Mexican.
I'm not
anymore.
Mexican.
Yeah.
I'm American.
Yeah, of course.
You know, there's my dad is Russian Romanian, but which, you know, it's a different story.
Yeah.
So, but you know, what do you think? What's happening? You know, like say what, because you know, you got a first perspective of like the border. You hear all these things with the border. You know, before you had, you know, almost all Mexicans, South Americans, and I was cool. I'm cool with that, right? Like, because I love Mexican people. I love the food. I love the people. Everything, you know. But what do you think is happening now with the border? Is it different now than it was when you were younger? I mean, I know it is, but like, what do you think about that? Because it ain't Mexicans that are coming in.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, now I think
they're going through Mexico.
Yeah, they're going through Mexico. I have a lot of friends from Guatemala, Salvador, Mexico. Those guys struggle a lot more than us. So from Guatemala, Salvador, they gotta go through different countries.
Yeah, they're traveling.
Yeah. So, but they were so hard.
Yeah.
Guatemala, from the guys from Guatemala, oh man, they were so hard.
Yeah.
More than Mexicans.
Yeah.
100%. But you know, like, I mean, if you are a good person and you are here just to do the right thing and help another, you know, people, like in my case, now I provide for, you know, for 4 different families.
You provide for 4 families?
Yeah, for 4 families, because I have four guys out there working.
Oh yeah.
So I provide for 4 families.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm here helping at the end of the day, you know, this country somehow.
Yep.
You know?
No, you are. You totally are.
Yeah. So, you know, but of course there's some Mexicans that they're not doing the right thing here. And I really believe if you're not providing for this country, man, just go back. You know, just go back and do your stuff, you know, in Mexico, man, because, you know, so, but but yeah, I mean, it's really difficult. Really difficult for you know.
I see it. Yeah, I've been in the industry, being in construction. You meet everybody. There's a lot of Mexicans here in Arizona, and so you see all the different. You hear all the stories, and you know, I think there's the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the good is you get some good people, some good workers, some all that stuff. You know, honest.
Yeah.
You know, everything, religious, whatever it is, and then I think the bad, doesn't necessarily come from Mexico. Mm-hmm. I just think it comes through Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, I'd like to see a little change on the border. I'd like to see like, people, you know, able to like maybe, learn English, take a test.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if you want to come in, let's put you through like a year-long program. You know,
yeah, exactly.
Teach them English and let them learn how to read, write, and then say, okay, you're ready.
Yeah.
You're ready to go conquer the world.
Yeah.
You know,
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it would be a different story.
Yeah.
You would have more people. So think about this. And this doesn't happen because it's just screwed up. The whole system's screwed up. America's part of the problem. Mexico's part of the problem. The whole world's part of it. You have a lot of people that come here from like, say, India. Mm-hmm. Those other kind of countries, right? Mm-hmm. We'll just say India, and they'll come here. Somehow they'll get like some sort of visa, right? And then they'll come here and go to college, become doctors,
and
then they go back to India and make India better, right? I think that's okay, right? Because the way the system's set up in India, so we would have that more in Mexico if there was a better system that said, hey, you go learn in America. They're going to let you. And then bring it back here.
Yeah.
Go become a doctor there. Bring it back here. Go become an engineer there. Bring it back here. The problem is everyone has to sneak over because it's so screwed up. Everything's screwed up.
Yeah.
And they don't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I 100% with you. I mean, that would be nice to have a nice future.
Yeah.
You know, with certain things. So that we can, that way they can filter all the people, learn English. For sure, they I mean, man, we gotta, if you're here, you gotta speak English. At least, you know, decent.
And pay taxes.
Yeah, and pay taxes.
If I pay taxes, I think everyone should pay taxes. Yeah. I tell the guys, just try to pay taxes because the government will leave you alone.
Yeah.
Once you start paying the government, they're going to leave you alone.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. You could be legal, illegal. You pay the taxes, they're like, cool, give me the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
Exactly. It's true.
You know, once you start paying taxes, you know, so however that looks, if you can get some sort of number or whatever and just start paying taxes. I don't know how that works, but so what do you think, like, do you pay attention to like any politics or anything like that?
Not really.
Nothing?
Not really.
No world news?
No, I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
I don't listen to radio.
That's good. So what do you do when you're driving?
When I'm driving, I was listening or either music that I like.
Well, that's the radio.
Or, well, you know, but just a specific music.
Yeah. Not like the radio with the commercials.
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
That stuff. Yeah, me neither.
Or you know, podcast.
Yeah. What kind of podcasts are you listening to?
Well, I listen so much about service companies.
Particular AC or all? Okay.
Well, now I listen Tommy Mello.
Oh yeah,
He owns the A1 Garage.
Yep.
Oh man, he is a beast. So I'm always like trying to learn from that guy. Sometimes he's talking about some stuff that I don't understand, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I know at this level I don't understand some stuff, but that's fine. You can Google it, but you can always Google it. Yeah. But yeah, Tommy Mello. What else?
Podcasts are huge today.
Podcasts, and then on YouTube sometimes.
Yeah. I'm always listening to either a podcast or a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm watching them while I'm driving. Not really, but kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Ebooks, audiobooks.
I read.
Yeah.
But I always use a actual book. You know, I don't do like audiobooks.
Yeah, I do a lot of audio. Just because so when I'm here at the office, I'm here, for a long time. Whether I'm working on different things, but driving home, driving to the office, or if I'm driving somewhere else to a meeting or a job site, whatever it is, I'm listening to something. Yeah, either a podcast, an audiobook, just to grow. And that for everyone out there, it's like you have to listen to something. You have to learn from someone doing better than you. Of course. And then you got to know what it is you're listening to. Right, especially like today with the politics. If you listen to one set of news things, they tell you one thing. You listen to another set of news things, they tell you another thing. Exactly. And so you have to know what it is you want in life. So like if you're like for yourself, you're in service, you're in the service industry, or service tech. It doesn't make sense for you to listen to, someone in the food industry.
Yeah, of course.
But people, so you're gonna get confused. So you got to know what it is, what you want, and then kind of steer in that direction. Yeah. Right. And so what are like other things? Do you go to church?
I go to church on Sundays. I started, I would say like a month or 2 months. I started going to the church with my wife and my kids.
That's good.
Yeah. Because before I was
a foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because before I was going by myself on Wednesday.
By yourself?
Every Wednesday. Yeah, by myself.
So you're going by yourself and leaving your wife and kids?
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, I'm gonna go get better.
No, and then I talked to my wife, like, cause she don't like, she don't like how to say, like, she believes in God, but she's not that close to God.
Yeah.
So I talked to my wife about it. I'm like, baby, this is, please go with me. Let's take our kids. Let's go to the church. I know you don't like this so much, but just do it for me, and then eventually I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. So we started going to the church.
What kind of church?
Catholic. Catholic.
Is it like a Spanish speaking one?
Yeah, Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish.
I think it's good. I think you have to get your kids in church. It gives them a strong foundation, something to believe in. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So you need them to stand on, like, okay, there's God. We're gonna do the right things. We're gonna live our best life. Because if you don't know those basic things, you just go over here, you go over there, you don't know who you are, you start doing bad things. Then you start, boys start thinking they're girls and girls start thinking they're boys because they don't know who they are. There's no foundation. There's no,
exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
So I started, going with my wife. Yeah.
What do you think, like, so what do you think some of the next step goals for you are?
So the next step, I have a goal for, 5 years. I have a goal for 10 years. And then I have a goal for over 10 years. To be honest, like, I want to build this company. I want to build a really big company. I want to sell a percentage of this company, save my family for life. Because I want to kind of like slow down and just be relaxed. If I sell a percentage of my company, I love my company. I love what I'm doing. So this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. But obviously I kind of want to grow this company. I have some numbers that I got to hit. So we're supposed to hit, our projection for this year was $3 million. We are behind numbers. I'm not gonna be able to hit that number this year.
But try. Just keep going.
I'm trying.
Keep going.
Exactly. So that's my plan. Right now I'm working on getting obviously a office. Yeah. Because you gotta have a balance. Chris, more than me about this, because I can get a really nice office and pay $3,000 for the office, really nice office, or a decent office. Yeah. Or I can invest that money in, making my phone ring. So either you make your phone ring or you have a nice office, So I'm like, no, I'm just going to invest in making a phone ring and then, go from there. So.
Yeah. I mean, we were in our home I would say like our first 5-6 years.
Okay.
We were in the house.
Okay.
You know, and then
Yeah,
we bought
yeah,
the first small building and then this
Okay.
building. So don't despise small beginnings, because this is when you learn and grow. You know,
And I
then
don't have the overhead.
not right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you get bills, your prices change.
Yeah.
People, you know, everyone wants to grow big, and they don't understand is when you get big, there's bigger bills. Like the overhead grows, the building, the rent, whatever it is, the employees cost more money.
Yeah.
You go from paying $60,000 a year for someone to $130.
Yeah.
You know, because now you need bigger and badder people and bigger systems, and so, you know, you make more money as you're smaller, but you only stay at a certain spot.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep, you know, you're gonna keep growing, and then you just make the small moves, boom, 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 boom. Then you make a little leap here, you know, skip a couple and just leap, and then boom, 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 then another leap. You know what I mean? But we want to grow efficiently and effectively.
Yeah.
So, you know, for everyone watching, what's some nuggets you want to leave them with? A good nugget, and I want you to say it in English and in Spanish.
Okay.
Something good for that, you know, that young entrepreneur or someone that's, you know, maybe they're a foreman at an AC company or another company that wants to become an owner. Okay. You know, leave them with a good nugget.
Okay. So I want to say that just build a skill set, build some type of skill, invest time into one thing. Forget about all this and that here and there. Forget about different stuff. Just focus on one thing and become the best on doing that specific thing, that specific area. Then, you know, you can start planning, and then you can attack. You can just work on that. So that's what I did. I was just doing HVAC.
Mm-hmm.
I become so good at doing HVAC, and then I was planning my escape from the company, and then, you know, I was able to start running my own company. So so just forget about you know, if it's okay with you making hamburgers, that's okay, but build something. And then another good thing is try to solve big problems. Try to solve big problems, because the bigger problems, the more money you're gonna make.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Say that in Spanish.
Yeah. Lo que te tienes que enfocar es en desarrollar una habilidad en una cosa, en una sola cosa. Si es aire, plomería, electricidad, desarrolla en una sola cosa. Sé el mejor que todos haciéndolo. Planea tu futuro, y entonces puedes atacar y abrir tu compañía. Y mientras más grandes sean los problemas, más dinero vas a tener, más dinero vas a poder tener. Mientras más grandes sean los problemas que resuelvas, más dinero vas a poder hacer.
There it is.
There it is.
That's good. So, everybody, Saul, thank you for coming on, bro. But specialize in one thing. Focus on one thing and solve big problems. Thank you, Saul, for coming on the show, bro.
Thank you.
For everybody watching, be blessed.
Thank you.